really getting cold outside. Better grab your pockets. Welcome back to the House of Shred. I'm your host, KC Shred. This wonky-looking wimp is the Shred Demon, and this is the Parker PM10 Hornet. See, Ibanez, a model number doesn't really need to be 300 syllables long. So what is it? And here we go! On this episode, we are gonna find out what happens when you take two of the most innovative electrical engineering masterminds, add copious amounts of flashy 90s facial hair, a few ballpoint pens, oh, that's right, that wasn't them, forget that part, and a deep-seated desire to push the guitar design envelope off the cliff of reality. Welcome to the Parker Guitar story. Let's go back to 1990. A hard-working furniture maker turned guitar technician by the name of Ken Parker, working away at a little guitar repair shop in Rochester, New York. Ken had always dreamed of having his own guitar brand. Just like about every other guitarist with an internet connection and access to AliExpress's website. Now Ken, he was a little bit different. A little bit out there. You know, tinfoil hat, stuff like that. When Ken saw his friends making a speedboat out of carbon fiber, he thought, why don't they make guitars out of that? Then when he saw a lobster on his dinner table, he thought, why don't guitars have exoskeletons? When a fly landed on his lunch one summer's day, he thought, why doesn't anyone call their guitar the Fly? So Ken set out to experiment with all these outlandish concepts. Enter Larry Fishman. Ooh. Now Larry is the other eccentric half of this wild, ruminating duo. Now Larry, who is an electrical engineer genius, already well known for his innovative pickup designs dating back to the early 80s, found his thoughts in tune with Ken's. And together, they set out about inventing the first Parker guitar, the Jeff Goldblum. The Parker Fly. Now this guitar was about 200 years ahead of its time. And like all extreme innovations, the general guitar playing public were more confused than impressed. Which didn't make Cog, who were funneling money into the Parker business, very happy at all. I mean, Ken once famously said we were making $10,000 guitars, $2,000. Now to anybody with more than 3 fingers and 2 toes, that's not a great financial position to be in. Now, like all great guitar manufacturers, the Parker brand has played its fair share of musical chairs. First, Ken sold the branding to the U.S. Music Corporation in 2003, who then set about adding basses to the Parker lineup. And this began the refinement era of Parker. Parker then changed hands again in 2009, being bought up by Jam Industries. Now, along with this new ownership came the addition of import models to the lineup. But all this bonfoolery came at a cost, and a sad end in 2016 when, after long-running severe financial troubles, the doors closed at the Illinois factory for good, and the Parker brand became inactive, of which, sadly, it remains inactive to this very day. But, what do you get? Righty-o! Let's take a little peek at this here PM10 Hornet specs and features. Luckily, we can learn everything we need to know from this stupid little comic book titled The Vapid Hornet Man Episode 1 by Bin Chicken Comics.
In a loft, somewhere on the East Coast.
Peter, are you still tuning that damn guitar?
Almost done. Now for the last string. Ouch. Why does it burn?
And that's how Peter became
Vapid Hornet Man!
With the power of 2 Stinger Alnico pickups, strength and sustain of mahogany body, the speed and accuracy of Grover 18-1 tuners, flexibility of coil split and push-pull electronics, and the power to shock all other guitarists with the ugliness of function over form design.
With my guitar black as night, I will try to save the innocent. But not quite.
Well, that was, stupid. Moving on! Did somebody care? Well, to be totally honest, yes! We were overjoyed to find that no matter how hard we tried, you know that we tried really, really, really hard, we couldn't find any manufacturing errors whatsoever. Frets are perfect, routes were immaculate, paintwork was flawless. And look, no fret markers. It's so amazing. I mean, just look at the wiring. It's so pretty. So pretty. Look at that neck carve. Perfect neck carve. Yeah. I gotta calm myself down. But anyway, we couldn't find any traces of the usual Eastern manufacturing shenanigans. So these findings just go to further the fact that Korean-built guitars really are superior. Now, only they could work out how to build cars. How does it sound? Now, we were gonna find a typical Parker guitarist to demonstrate the smooth sonical honey that is produced by this over-engineered marvel. But we, fell asleep listening to them go on and on and on about something or other. So to save you all from a fate worse than sitting through a worksite induction, you'll just have to put up with the terrible playing of our resident talentless tool, the Shred Demon. much money you have. You see, Parker Guitars are now being coveted and hoarded worse than toilet paper during the pandemic. I mean, the prices on Parker Guitars these days is up there with the Australian housing market. Cooked as! Your average Parker guitar buyers seem to fit into just two categories. Category 1. You own your own house between 50 to 20 kilometers of an Australian capital city. If this is you, you potentially could afford a post-refinement era Parker, maybe a Nightfly, if you're lucky. Category 2. You own a home within 10 kilometers of either Melbourne or Sydney. Well, now, if you're that rich or lucky, if you sell everything you own, you may just be able to afford a pre-refinement era Parker. I mean, maybe. Like, you might have to win the lottery as well, but it depends on the day. But all jokes aside, here, I'll chuck some adverts of some currently available Parkers up on the screen. I mean, you could get custom shop fenders for this money. But I suppose, if you really, really, really want one, you could always use your life savings and your mom's life savings and your dad's life savings and your best friend's life savings, and you get my point. Okay, mokey. So, what did we all learn today? Parker guitars are over-engineered, overpriced, and over-coveted. But besides all that, they really are really, really great. They were the first to give us stainless steel frets, which almost all brands now offer on their high-end models. First to give us extreme body carves and weight reliefing, which Ibanez copied for their Sabre models. And let's face it, every Les Paul post-1980 has a ton of weight relief. Now, here at the House of Shred, we like to say that for all the great guitars ever to grace our world, there is a very specific guitarist suited. Example, when you meet a Les Paul player, you just know they're gonna be a gear snob. A Strat player is most likely high on some kind of not-so-legal substance. A BC Rich player just can't play. The Ibanez guy is 15 years old, or broke. The Chevelle man is sleeping with your wife. But the Parker player, now he has forgotten more about correct playing technique than all the others combined. And if you ask him why they are a Parker player, then they will promptly put you to sleep as they try to explain it. You know, Parker guitars. They're the Anoraks guitar. Now let's move on before I put myself to sleep. Right, let's give this guitar a score. Yeah. Okay. Well, we here at the House of Shred give the Parker PM10 Hornet a score of 5 out of 5 War and Peace novels. Next time on a very special House of Shred season finale. Who's that shredder? It's Douglas. Shh.